Friends and loved ones of Kim Owens are mourning her death, something they feared for years.
This morning, St. Bernard investigators say her ex-husband and former deputy Mark Owens ambushed her outside of her home as she left for work, killing her with an axe. Sheriff James Pullman says Mark had a history of violence. He turned himself in and now faces a charge of second-degree murder.
There was an incident back in 2014 where Mark Owens had believed that the former parish president and his ex-wife was romantically involved. He had made some threats towards Peralta.
Today's brutal attack sparked conversation about domestic violence and the number of women killed by men across the state.
Chris Jackman visited a shelter for battered women to learn more about a disturbing trend happening across Louisiana.
This is the St. Bernard Battered Women's Program, a place where women, children, and in some cases men, come to seek refuge from abusive and life-threatening relationships.
Plenty of times they think they're the only ones in that situation.
Gail Gowland is the executive director of the center. She says more often than not, this place is their last option.
Most of the time when they come into shelter, it's because the abuse has funneled down to the children.
The news about Kimberly Owens' gruesome death broke her heart. Mark Owens surrendered to St. Bernard deputies this morning after he allegedly used an axe to kill Owens, his ex-wife. It happened in a front yard where she was staying with her mother.
He may have been waiting for her to leave to go to work, which was around at 8 a.m. time when she exited the house and was walking towards her vehicle. At that point, we believe the attack happened.
According to the sheriff's office, Kimberly Owens filed a restraining order against her ex-husband in 2014 after he allegedly threatened the former parish president. Mark Owens believed the parish president was romantically involved with his ex-wife. Then in 2015, Owens held Kimberly Owens against her will with a weapon before surrendering to police.
It's happening all too often.
Louisiana is ranked third in the nation for women murdered by men. It's the 7th year in a row the state has been ranked in the top 10. Gowland says the state recently passed laws dealing with domestic violence, but she says today's murder is evidence that women need more protection.
We've seen like 4 generations come here. So that shows that it is a cycle of abuse that goes on. If that's what they're raised seeing, that's what they learn to know.
And the sheriff also told us today that out of the 3 911 calls, 1 of them came from a school bus driver. Now, the sheriff tells us he didn't believe that any of the children saw the body on the ground, but he also said grief counselors will be available for the children and that bus driver just in case. Reporting live at St. Bernard Parish Sheriff's Department, I'm Chris Jackman, Eyewitness News.